Day 69 of the war has been a day of some optimism at the idea that there may be some sort of peace agreement, at least temporarily, between Iran and the United States starting sometime next week. If that's the case, then we'll all be very glad. But there are a couple of big spoilers in this that we should also be aware of. One, of course, is Lebanon, the war within a war. The Israelis are determined to try to finish off Hezbollah. They've got a very clear agenda to do this, whatever else happens in the war. And to that end, they've been increasing their attacks as Hezbollah have been aiming rockets at Israel. And yesterday, they attacked Beirut, southern Beirut, downtown Beirut again, and pictures of that came through today. They said that they were going after a Hezbollah command center, maybe it was, but the fact that they went into Beirut itself shows that the Israelis are determined to do as much damage to Hezbollah as they can in the days still remaining to them if there is a peace deal between Tehran and Washington. If they can't do that, then the thing they're also determined to do is to consolidate their security zone. Now, this is their security zone running inside the southern part of Lebanon. We've seen that before. We saw it between 1982 and the year 2000. But this time, look at it. It goes much further to the northeast than it ever did before. It includes Mount Hermon, the Syrian edge of Mount Hermon. The Israelis occupy Syrian territory on Mount Hermon. They've refused to give it up. The Syrians protest, but they take no notice. They also have put military outposts between 5 and 10 kilometers inside Syrian territory. It's obvious why the Israelis are doing that. They want to protect the northern flank of the Golan Heights. The Golan Heights were captured by the Israelis in 1967. They were annexed by Israel in 1981. The world didn't recognize that annexation, but nevertheless, the United States recognized it under the previous Trump administration in 2019. Nobody else does. This is legally Syrian territory, but not to Israel. And the Israelis are determined that they're going to protect that territory with their extended security zone. What this tells me is that whatever happens in this war within a war, the Israelis intend to be in this security zone, I think, for potentially a very long time. That's one potential spoiler. The other potential spoiler, of course, is our old friend, the Strait of Hormuz. The rest of the world really wants a reconciliation to release all the shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. This is what is doing so much damage to the world economy. This is why it matters so much to the rest of us. Well, that's fine. But remember that the Strait of Hormuz will only gradually reopen over a 30-day period as both sides, the Americans and the Iranians, ramp down their respective blockades. And even when they do, we've got 1,500 ships all knotted up, locked away somewhere inside this side of the strait. Those ships have got to get out in some sort of order. And then empty ships, which have been empty for over a month, want to get back in to load up again and get out. Again, what that tells me is it will be several months before the Strait of Hormuz returns to anything like normality, even if there is a deal this week which holds for 30-odd days. And so the Strait of Hormuz remains in this rather strange situation. That's the picture of it from Bandar Abbas on the Iranian side. It's a bizarre situation. Nevertheless, we can be grateful for where we are today. We can be optimistic about that. But the fact is, there are spoilers both in Lebanon and in the Strait of Hormuz which may temper our optimism.